Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this session. I really appreciate it. I'm taking your lunchtime out. To get into it, I'm going to cover our new GitHub Learn platform that we're going to be unveiling at the beginning of July. It's going to be all-encompassing, and I'll get into some of the details and show you kind of a preview of what that looks like. And then I'm going to talk about our GitHub Skills. It's issue-based, self-learning, self-paced, all learning about GitHub within GitHub. It's a great addition if you're just getting started, and it's all open source. So it's free, and people can take part in that. And then I'll get into a new Microsoft Applied skill that we're releasing for GitHub around GitHub Copilot. And then I'm going to do a walkthrough. Hopefully we have time to do a walkthrough of one of those GitHub Skills exercises so you can see what that issue-based flow looks like and get experience with it. And then you can do it on your own afterwards. And then I'll talk about if we have time, any additional resources and next steps that if you want to take. So let me get into the GitHub Learn platform. This is a preview of what's going to be coming in July. It's all encompassing, so I'm going to let it do its thing. But basically, it's going to encompass our GitHub Skills, our Microsoft Applied Skills for GitHub, list our certifications, and it kind of meets people where they are. If you're a developer, you're a student, you're a teacher, to get to 1 billion developers, as Thomas, our CEO, talks about, you really have to meet people where they are, and that's kind of our approach here in using GitHub with GitHub Learn is to kind of get people in touch with using our GitHub Skills, using the GitHub platform and how to use it. As we roll out new features, we like to match those up with GitHub Skills or other learnings so that you can stay on top of how to use those features. So this is our new website. This is a little clip from Universe last year. Universe will be coming up at the end of October in 2025. I hope you guys can make it there. And that's pretty much what GitHub Skills is like, a little preview of that. And yeah. Oops, sorry. There we go. So as I said, GitHub Skills is issue-based. It's self-paced. You can scan that QR code. It allows you to learn the different features of GitHub, whether it's Copilot, whether it's security, repo management, and lets you do it really in under 60 minutes. So if you have a half an hour to an hour, you can spend time on doing that, and it's all in the GitHub platform. So if you have a GitHub handle and user account, I recommend doing that. And it really helps you learn about GitHub within GitHub. And as I walk through it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'll make it really clear for you folks. I have developed some of the skills exercises and some of my teammates who are here. I recommend coming over to our GitHub Learn booth over there in the corner, directly diagonal from where we are here. And we can talk to you more about some of the skills and some of the features. We also just released, Chris on our team just released a new GitHub skills exercise for extending your team with Copilot. So it's all about the new Copilot agent that was just announced at the keynote. So I recommend taking that in particular. So we have different topics under GitHub Skills, and this is kind of our website. We will be revamping this under the GitHub Learn logo and platform. But it shows you, if you're a first day using GitHub, and even just using Git, it shows you a lot of those basics and getting used to that, and then how you would maybe spend your first week working with GitHub. And then you can get into some advanced topics, as well as automation with GitHub Actions, GitHub Copilot, security management. And we keep adding exercises. We also are opening this up to the community to also recommend exercises they'd like to see. And we also want to up the scale of maybe not just doing like 100, 200, but get more complex exercises that maybe is more intricate as you get used to the GitHub platform and using it in your workplace or at home on your for personal use. Next, I want to talk about Microsoft Applied Skills. This is a great platform. It's verifiable credentials that you can showcase for specific practical technical abilities. So it's very targeted. And sometimes you may have an employer that is looking for a specific task or skill that they're looking for. And this really hones in on that. It's very targeted. So unlike certifications or maybe a skills exercise, if you just want this specialty in a certain area, like in this case, Copilot, maybe you want to take this course, and it sets up a full lab environment where you can walk through different use cases. In this one in particular, it walks through all the aspects of GitHub Copilot with our inline suggestions in the editor, as well as the Copilot chat feature, about refactoring code, updating documentation, and doing bug fixes, and also writing unit tests and tests, things we as developers sometimes don't like to spend as much time on, but we should, and Copilot definitely helps out with that. And this skills course is all around kind of learning those capabilities and those skills. This is kind of what it would look like when we go to the site. It's just a Microsoft Learn modules, but it's also an assessment where you can learn hands-on through the lab environment. So if you're familiar with the MS Learn modules, this is similar to that, but then it has a lab environment that sets everything up for you to walk through that. And it's pretty comprehensive. I definitely highly recommend taking that. So last but not least, I want to walk through what one of our skills exercise looks like. So in the sense of time, I'm just going to play a video that really walks through it so we don't have to spend time demoing things and hopping around. So this is our getting started with Copilot. As you can see, we're in this skills exercise repo in that org. I'm now copying that over to my GitHub handle, or you could do it in an organization of your choosing. It then sets up the repository for you with everything you need. There's an action running in the background, so a couple of refreshes then will make it available for us to start the exercise. We click that link, and we automatically start up in an issue. So GitHub issues, if you're used to using GitHub or unfamiliar with it, it will show you stepping through that guide and giving you steps and activities to execute. And in the background, as you complete those, there's actions running, Mona actions, we call it Mona, that will come in and then update to tell you if you've passed it, or you missed something and you should go back, or you're ready to go to the next step and next set of activities. This here is showing how to run the application. And now we're actually also opened up a code space. So we have a fully functional development environment with all our extensions that we want to use. And we don't have to worry about setting that up in our own local environment there. And here we can toggle between our ask, edit, or agent in GitHub Copilot chat. We can learn about our project. That's what this is doing, explaining this project to us, so what's in it. And then we're going to go to command line and maybe use some shortcuts, either Command I or Control I, depending on your Mac or Windows, to ask it how to set up a branch for us. Also we can have a launch.json that's already set up for you to execute that application and bring it up. And now we're going to talk in the terminal to GitHub Copilot chat with Command I in this case. And I'm going to ask it, like, I forgot how to set up a branch and push it. It's going to tell me that, and I'm going to say, okay, that's great, but here's the branch name I want you actually to run that command with. And it's going to step me through that and then set up the branch for me. So now if I pull over, I have this new branch that's been pushed up, thanks to Copilot guiding me through that without me having to remember that. Obviously, if you do that every day, it's probably no big deal, but we want to showcase what Copilot's capabilities are in this skills exercise. Now we're going to do some prompting with GitHub Copilot. So in this ask mode, we're going to say, we think we have a bug here. Can you tell me why there's duplicate entries, or people can sign up for multiple activities? Can you find that bug for me, Copilot? So we're going to walk you through that in this fictitious Mergington High School where we're running this in for this app for registering people for activities. It's pretty cute that way. It's a concept we came up with of different themes for our skills exercises. But here I'm going to put a comment in, and then I'm going to automatically press enter on the line, and then some ghost text is going to come up for me to then accept that or reject it. If I'm happy with it, I accept it, and it fixed the bug. And now maybe I want to actually do some editing and add some more activities to my list of activities. And I can select the code that I already have in that, that file, in the Python file, and then we'll add those activities additionally automatically edit for me. If I like what I see, I can keep it, or maybe I want to query or prompt Copilot chat to maybe change some of those activities for me. I can do that in this exercise. We're not looking for specific answers. We're looking for an addition to that file with the changes that were made for those activities when we go to commit and then push that branch up, which we're doing right here. So we've basically completed that step. We're waiting for Mona now to look at what we've done and tell us if we're ready to go on or we have some mistakes. Or maybe we have some errors we got to fix or bugs. But it looks like we passed, and we get a result telling us exactly what we passed, that we did that activity and that step in those activities correctly. So with Copilot edits, so we like to showcase, we just did ask and did that in both terminal chat and as well as in the inline editing. But now we're going to do some edits directly in the files. So we have our front end web interface for this that maybe we want to make some changes and make it prettier. So we're going to talk to Copilot about doing that for us. We're going to open up all of these files so Copilot chat has that context to know these are the files that we want you to look at and make changes to make our web interface, our website look better, and add those activities listed one by one. So I added those files to my context, and now I'll wait to see what Copilot does here in our editor to update those files accordingly. We can decide to keep those, or we can decide to reject some of them. You are the captain here. You're guiding Copilot, so it allows you to walk through that. And the best part is this is already in this skills exercise, all-encompassing of showing you what you can do, and then you can apply this to other projects that you have in your own, either at work or your personal use, any coding projects or software that you're writing. We'll wait for that activity that we've checked that in. We've shown the new interface. Now, if we do a refresh, we can see those activities drop down right there. So we made those changes. Copilot helped us out, edit those files without us even having to figure that out for us. We just told it exactly pretty much what we wanted. I would say prompting is everything here in Copilot of what you're trying to get out of it. And then once that's done, we're going to go and mess around with agent mode a little bit. And yeah, so we're going to now commit the changes that we made after we played around with agent mode a little bit for context. And then we push up those changes again. We let Mona look at our results of what we committed, and then it will, that action running in the background will look at that data and then tell us if we've done well, we passed, or we failed. We passed, we edited those files, we added activities, we changed the interface, and we're ready to go on to the next step. And this is using Copilot in a pull request mode. So I don't know about you folks, but when I write a pull request, one of the, I would say the most things that I struggle with is what I'm going to write for my pull request summary. So this shows the power of Copilot in this skill exercise of Copilot writing a pull request summary for us. I think before Copilot, I think I heard about 40% of pull requests are actually, the summaries are filled in. Most often they're left blank. So Copilot can look at all the code changes that you made and then make those updates for you. So we triggered Copilot here at the top. We clicked the button to put a summary together for us. And if we're happy with that summary, we obviously can add our own content to that as well. It doesn't have to just be Copilot, but I trust Copilot to look over the code to know what changes were made and then kind of annotate that in the summary. If I'm happy with that, you can also, I don't know if you noticed, we added Copilot as a reviewer. Copilot will come back just like any peer that's looking at your code and maybe give you some suggestions, some of them being major things that you might want to change, or maybe they're just some nits or some suggestions of it's your preference if you want to add them or not, or decide to just resolve them and move on. So in this case, we're happy with what we saw, and then we'll merge that pull request. And then once that's done, I think we're almost done. And the great thing about the skills exercise is at the end, and you have this to save in your own handle so you don't lose it. It's there for as long as you want to keep that repository. And once you're successful, you'll get a review of what was done in each of the steps and activities. And then and some resources that you may want to follow up on, or other GitHub skills that you may want to take also. So we got 5 seconds. We made it.
Ari, that was great.
Yeah, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'll be in the back.